Hope everyone's 2020 has gotten off to a stellar start. Today we're going into part 3 of what matters the least. And I want to start this video off with really what is one of my favorite quotes. Might seem a little crazy and deep to you, but I invite you to just meditate on it. Comes to us from Henry David Thoreau. And Thoreau, back over 150 years ago, said, "I regret that I was never as wise as the day I was born. I regret that I was never as wise as the day I was born." And one of the reasons I believe my interpretation of this quote is that because we all build up a personal history. Sometimes good, sometimes not so good, but sometimes our personal history really hinders us. And when we're born, we're just love. So in this part 3 of what matters the least, I want to talk about how really for me one of the answers is it's our personal histories. And Kaylee and I, you might notice this video looks a little bit different. We got a new Canon M50 for Christmas to shoot our videos on. And we were out playing with it in the backyard, and in our backyard lots of boats drive by. And I was asking Kaylee and Gunnar about, what do you call that thing that's behind the boat? And they both knew the answer, and it was the wake. It was the wake. And I want you to think about the wake of a boat. I want you to look at our thumbnail of the wake of the boat. And I want you to ask yourself really 3 questions. 3 questions. And the first question is, and I asked Kaylee and Gunnar this, well, what is the wake? What is the wake, Kaylee and Gunnar? And they gave me some really funny answers, but the consensus that we came to at the end was the wake is the trail of what is left behind. The wake is the trail of what's left behind. Kind of like our pasts. And then I said to Kaylee and Gunnar, I said, what's driving the boat? And once again, we got some really funny answers there. But really the answer that we're looking for, it's the present that is driving the boat. It's the present energy of the captain who's steering the ship of the boat. It's the present energy that's driving the boat forward. The present energy is what's driving the boat forward. And then the third question that I asked Kaylee and Gunnar is, that wake, that trail of what's left behind, is it really possible that that is what drives the boat? And of course, the answer was no. The trail of what's left behind can't be what's driving the boat. But I know in my own life, I know in probably many of your lives, the wake might not be driving the boat, but it's weighing heavily in that subconscious of yours. And in some level, it is driving the boat. So when we think about part 3, what matters the least? What matters the least is when we're letting our past control our present. And we let it drive the boat instead of what's possible in our lives. So as we are really in the early stages of 2020, I want you to think about that Henry David Thoreau quote. I want you to really ask yourself, am I letting my past drive my boat? Because really, you've got to let go of the past, you've got to forgive yourself, and you've got to let your present force energy, which I'm hoping is love, you've got to let it drive the boat. You know, being honest, and for a large part of my life, until Kaylee told me I was the greatest dad in the world and I decided to be focused in on just being loving all of the time, I would think about my past and some of the decisions I'd make, and I'd say, "You idiot!" And I would just be so mad at myself over something I couldn't change. But when I realized I can't let the wake drive my boat, to be the greatest dad in the world, I've got to be love. And I've got to let go, and it's not always easy. Man, I really went from being pissed to blissed. When I let go of that past and I quit letting it drive the boat, I really went from pissed to blissed. So before next week, kind of finalizing what matters the least, I want to ask you, as you're in the beginning stages of 2020, what do you need to let go of? What do you need to bury in the past? What do you need to just embrace so that you can lead the life that you're capable of? What do you need to let go of so that you can lead the life you're capable of? We'll see you next week.
I hope with the help of our channel, you can let go of whatever is holding you back and you can get out of your own metaphorical porta potty. Please hit like, subscribe, and share.